Alderman and Tom Tunney, who's been very supportive of it's in the past been called the Gay Pride Parade, now it's the Pride Parade, is one of the ones behind the threat that if they don't curtail the drinking and partying and everything, that it could be moved out of there. And I'm thinking, where are you going to move it? Out of Boys Town? Where are you going to take it to Taylor Street with all the Italians? And what's going on?
This has been a hot discussion with all of our neighbors, and one of my husband's best friends is like throwing parties all weekend for it. And one of their things is they thought it would be great for it to move downtown because it will make it a little bit more controlled and grow even bigger, which I thought they would object.
Yeah. Yeah, because it would make it more mainstream. If it comes down, Columbus Avenue or Michigan Avenue or whatever, then it really makes a statement that it's things have come around and we're not hiding in the corner. Because I noticed that they have the sponsors are like Chase Bank and American Airlines and all that. And years and years ago, these corporations wouldn't be caught dead sponsoring the Gay Pride Parade.
It's amazing how times have changed. And my only thing with being a resident is the city does a really good job, or the Lakeview, they do a really good job of cleaning up after, but it is really dirty for about 4 hours after. And I don't want to walk my dog, I don't want to...
And the post-partying gets a little bit out of control. It's just like the Southside Irish Parade, revamped, reforming, now it's back, but they're going to have, I think, something like 90 uniformed officers now to try and...
At the Pride Parade?
Yeah, the Pride Parade, to try and make things a little safer for everybody. Because it has become mainstream.
It has, and that was the thing is, last year there weren't that many police officers, so there was chaos literally on every different corner we were walking around, and no one was there to stop it. So I hope that maybe if there's any craziness, they can stop it.
Well, and Columbus is like surrounded by Grant Park and open areas. This is a heavily residential area. There's people and they're concerned, and they also talk about maybe closing the bars at 2 a.m. instead of 4 a.m. Because they find people just passed out on the streets and everything. One of the things that's changed is it used to be the most flamboyant. Like, it looked like Mardi Gras and everything, but now because it's become more mainstream and some of these people, it's not quite the circus it once was. They're showing that, gay people can be your next door neighbor or your coworkers and all that. And if it looked too clownish, then that disorients, people and makes people think it's, not me.
The floats and the people in there in the past have been just amazing. Like, I love that. But where you see that sometimes the clowns are watching and they all partake, and they, that some of them are just coming in from the suburbs, dressed up in all their stuff,
It's now the biggest parade in Chicago.
Yeah.
And let's see, the Grand Marshal is country music star Ty Herndon, who is out. And he's won Grammys, he's won top Billboard hits. And that's odd to me that, I mean, just me thinking of, traditional country, redneck, it seems like you'd think that would be one of the last bastions of America to accept homosexuality.
I mean, I still like him, and he still is sexy to me, even though he's not into me.
I have to tell you that I was talking about corporations being reluctant to get in. I have, I guess, the honor and distinction of, at least to my knowledge, being the first mainstream media person in that parade. What happened was, back in the day, Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch, come on, good vibrations. Mark Wahlberg came to town after performing a large concert wherever he was doing, because Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch were huge. In after hours, Marky Mark went and did a show at a gay club called Vortex in Boys Town, which has long since disappeared. Well, the next morning on the air, we talked all about it, saying, hey, remember you guys love Marky Mark? He showed up, took his shirt off, and danced at this club and everything last night. Well, a guy named Tony Marchese, who was the manager of the club, called the station during our show and was flabbergasted that anybody would even give recognition to this. That his club was even talked about on the mainstream radio station. We're like, why? What's the big deal? We said, Mark Wahlberg, is he gay? No, but he just felt like performing. Go, okay, well, we felt like talking about it. He was so honored, he asked if we would come and do an appearance, because we did nightclub appearances all the time. And I said, sure.
Why not?
So our program director, who was a very progressive guy, this was 1991, was still worried about us going individually, so he made an all-station appearance there, so nobody had labeled. And I said, well, whatever, I don't care.
Right.
So we did. It was a huge success. People were so grateful that our station was acknowledging, and to think that things were so persecuted back then.
It is crazy thinking of growing up, because I have a couple of really close family members that are out, but they were embarrassed, they kept it, and I'm just like, oh, live your life, and like, just be you. You only get one of them.
So we did that, and then shortly after that, the organizers of the parade asked if we would do it, and it was supposed to be me and Jomo, but he was indisposed for one reason or another that day, so I just went by myself. And the recognition, and then 10 years later, every TV station is in it. And now you've got to wonder how much of it is because things are more mainstream, or how much of it is we've got to make sure we hit that percentage of the audience, which of course is corporate marketing thinking. So you've got American Airlines, well, everything else. So they're all involved. And another thing that's happened is Minneapolis has now put on the station 96.7 Pride FM.
Oh,
Now,
really?
I know there's internet stations and there's Sirius XM stations, but I thought, why is Minneapolis getting to this before Chicago? With a city of 6 million, 8 million, or in a market area of 12 to 15 million in our reach, couldn't they support a station?
Chicago always cracks me up. Chicago's always one of those, love it. People like me, I don't know how this all worked out, but that's why I'm surprised sometimes we're not as progressive.
Well, sometimes the bigger the city, the slower the move. It's like a glacier.
Mm-hmm.
Smaller towns invent and try. That's why when you were in Ada, Oklahoma, or when I was in Austin, Texas, we could try things on radio without having to worry so much about the other 6 stations.
Yeah, by the time I was on the news, they had me beating the other stations. That was the whole grind of the day, was to get the story before the competitor wanted it. The things I did with that one camera myself,
So the parade will go on. I don't have the exact time. I think it kicks off 2 o'clock. It's supposed to be sunny and 79.
And then remember, if you're out, they do tow, so they got to clear that route. So be careful where you park on Saturday.
Yeah.
You're in Lakeview.
And there are $1,000 fines for public alcohol consumption. So get absolutely wasted at home first before you go out. Don't take a container. The other thing this weekend, I think the Cubs are still in town, so that's going to be a madhouse area.
It is.
Yeah, and did you see the guy with the baby catching the ball?
I did not. I saw it after, but not live.
No, I didn't see it live, but it's been all over the news. There's a guy at a Cub game holding his baby in his hand, not really looking very comfortable the way he holds the baby like a loaf of bread. A foul ball pops over, and I think it's Adrian Gonzalez of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Their first baseman goes to catch the ball. This guy reaches out of the field with his bare right hand, because his left hand has got the baby held, and catches the ball. Now he's an internet sensation. He's all over Inside Edition. Everything, ESPN. And I'm thinking, Steve Bartman, caught a ball away from one of our players back in the day, and that guy has been forever banned. His life is ruined. This guy is going to be on Jimmy Kimmel. Tonight, we got the guy that caught the ball. He's going to be on every talk show.
Yes, he will. Well, and my thing, that could have gone so terribly wrong. That's what I keep thinking about. I was like, whoo.
As it is, it looks like he's kind of clotheslining the baby.
Yeah.
But I suppose this was, and I don't know if you know, but here at Harry Carey's, at the original restaurant, they got the Bartman ball that supposedly ruined the Cubs' World Series chances. And Grant Porter, the head of all the Harry Carey's operations, had a ceremony where they detonated the ball. They actually got the ball and they blew the ball up and all that. And I'm thinking, what if this had happened, this incident now, yesterday, where, in a 0-0 game, and because the Cubs batter was the one that hit the ball, and he was called out for fan interference.
Wait, that's how it works? The batter's out if someone catches it?
For fan interference.
I didn't know that.
What if that had happened and it was in the playoffs in a serious moment in a 0-0 game and the Cubs batter was called out because a fan with a baby reached in there? I'm thinking, would Grant Porter then have a ceremony where we detonated the baby here at the restaurant? That poor kid. Hey, speaking of Harry Carey's, and we are at Harry Carey's 7th inning stretch, which also includes, when you walk up on the 7th floor of Water Tower Place, the biggest sign you see is Chicago Sports Museum. And did you get a chance to walk through yet?
On the way to the bathroom, I kind of peeked around, and it was really cute.
There's more corridors that go back through the back.
I was surprised. I've never been up here, and this was wonderful.
Yeah,
I love Harry Carey's. I didn't know this was here.
Yeah, I'm glad. We hope we get the word out because I've never seen this place completely jammed. But again, it's Water Tower Place and it's on the 7th floor, but it's definitely worth coming in. The food's every bit as good, if not better, than some of the other Harry Carey's outlets.
Especially if you're shopping on Michigan Avenue, it's like not fast food in the mall.
Yeah, and the museum goes back in the back. The one at Navy Pier has a smaller version of the sports museum with bats and sign things and all that. And if you love sports and if you there's tons of TVs in here, I wonder how late they're open. I could sit here and watch.
You can do a double whammy. You could people watch out on Michigan Avenue, or you could.
All right, well, I guess it's been Whitney Reynolds. There's a Whitney. Isn't there a Whitney on The Bachelorette? Right?
There was.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
she's
Whitney
from
got
Chicago.
shot.
Yeah, and they actually broke up. I'm so sad. But yeah, Whitney Reynolds from the Whitney Reynolds Show. That's me, guys. So make sure to check out my show Mondays at 6:30 on Lakeshore PBS, or just go to WhitneyReynolds.com.
You can find it. All right.
Yeah.
Did you ever? If you weren't married, you've been married a couple of years, right?
A couple years, yeah.
And now people say,
When are you having babies?
And the thing is, we actually have a time. We have a plan, guys. So lay
why
off.
am I not surprised? You seem so. Are you considered type A?
I am beyond type A. Like, it is ridiculous.
Like
But-
triple A.
Yeah, exactly.
She tows cars just for fun. She's so triple A.
Yeah, we have a plan. We want to have fun, and we have a couple big things coming up. So, yeah.
Oh, you mean personal thing?
Yeah, we have a big personal thing next week. So I'm just like, if we just can get through this week.
Speaking of Spunky and all that, I have a high recommendation from. Do you know a guy? Remember a guy named Matt Welk?
Yes.
He's a pitcher on my softball team. You got to give him a shout out. He said he played softball with you. Matt. He's a big goosey-looking guy.
Well, you know what? You need to ask me about my competitiveness because I come off really sweet on the microphone.
But
on
now-
those softball fields.
But you're not
watch
born
out.
and raised Chicago. Were you playing 16-inch softball or
I don't
12?
remember. I never know which one I'm playing. I was a national born
The
cheerleader,
big
but
fat one.
I can do any type of ball.
Really?
Yeah, put me out on a field and the claws come out.
That new HBO show Ballers. It's actually the Whitney Reynolds show.
Yeah,
They were going to call it your show Ballers. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks to our production engineer Bonnie Sporn.
Thank you.
Thanks to location producer Ann Sheehan, Dave Sheehan on the video and the still pictures and stuff today. Executive producer Tony Lozano from Opie Productions. Distributed by Ed Silla, the Radio Misfits Podcast Network. And special thanks, of course, to Grant DePorter, Beth Goldberg, Heller, Erica O'Neill, what did you say, Asta Gas, Robin Corte, Jacqueline Bronson, and everyone at Harry Carey's 7th inning stretch and the Chicago Sports Museum. My name is Eddie Volkman. You can follow our show on Eddie V's Road Show, available on the TuneIn Radio app, iTunes, and Stitcher Radio Podcast Network. Or, you ready? You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Periscope, Foursquare, Ello, Yelp, Swarm, Vine, YouTube, LinkedIn, TuneIn, Tango, Clout, and even MySpace. Or you can text Eddie V to 96362 for more information. All right? Oh, we got the perfect thing for Bonnie. Pregnancy, how many?
6.5 months.
6.5 months? This is probably the perfect
Oh,
thing.
that's
What
so
is it?
good.
Amber, what is it called?
Nutella banana. Ooh, Nutella banana milkshake.
Nutella, or as you say, Nutella, the snobs say. Nutella banana shake here at Harry Carey's
Salivating.
7th inning stretch. Oh my God, we're going to give this to Bonnie. And thank you for listening. We'll see you down the road.